a little experiment was done where two random people were put together in a ball pit and was set up in the middle of the street, and there was a couple of questions written on some of the balls which helped them get to know each other better. And it took about 5 seconds to start up a conversation, and even without the help of these extra questions, something about that ball pit made them lower their guards and form a friendship. Now their age, ethnicity, gender, background, everything was different, but even so, they could become friends. So it's things like this that make me believe that there's still warmth and love in this world. Check it out. It's the first song for the show. This is Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas. That was Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas, and you guys are tuned into TBS efm 101.3 listening to What's Poppin'. But for now, a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to What's Poppin' with Brian Ju on TBS efm 101.3 in Seoul and surrounding areas, GFN 98.7 in Gwangju, and 93.7 in Yeosu. Now, here are a couple things I'd like to remind you guys. Send us an email to efmpoppin@gmail.com if you have any questions, or if you just want to drop us a positive message. We encourage you guys, and we love that our listeners actually take part in our show. It really means a lot to me as well. Also, you can check out our playlist on our website at tbsefm.soul.kr/efm/what's poppin'. We also upload pictures of our open studios. Of course, that would be Alexander, Punita, and all the fans that come into our studio, and of course, me as well. Speaking about our open studio, we got a Christmas special open studio coming up soon, y'all. This Monday, actually. So I hope you guys can have time to come in. We're going to pre-record it Monday on the 16th, but will be aired on Christmas Day, the 25th. And also, we have some special guests that day. We have Lee Jung-ah, Palo Alto, Be Free, and Occasion of Highlight Records, and an a cappella group called Exit. And not only will they be joining us and be in the studio, guess what they're going to do? They're going to be performing live, so you guys do not want to miss out on that. That's going to be a Christmas special recorded on Monday morning, so try to be here by 10:50 a.m. on the 16th for our Christmas special. Also that week, on the 18th, we have our normal open studio on Wednesday, same time, 11 a.m., so be here by 10:50 a.m. But you don't want to miss out, because on Wednesday open studio, we're going to have Punita, Alexander, and myself singing y'all some Christmas carols, you know. I'll be home for Christmas. There's a preview of what's going to be happening. So be prepared. Come in on the 18th and get ready to be serenaded. Now, with that said, it's time for Papa Verse. Now, y'all know what I'm going to do for y'all for Papa Verse. I'm going to drop a verse on y'all from a song that I like. And you guys to try to figure out which song I took it from. So here we go. Now, for some people, making friends is just as easy as snapping your fingers, but for some people, it's quite a challenge because you get awkward and all that stuff. But I think as, we get older, it gets harder. And remember when we're younger, how easy it was to make friends when we're little kids. But maybe that's why people who participated in an experiment, and I was talking about, of course, the ball pit, became friends so easily. It's because being in that pool of balls, it brought them back to their innocence, just like when we were kids. The experiences that we go through, especially the hurtful ones, like being betrayed, rejected, neglected, all these things harden our heart that prevents us from seeing the truth, which is we're all good people at heart, and the other person wants to be loved just as much as we want to be loved. So whomever you come across in life, why don't you become friends with them? You might not know who they are, where they're from, what ethnicity they are, but just try to get to know them, because I don't care who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me, then I'm sure it'll blossom into a beautiful friendship, y'all. Check it out. Backstreet Boys. That was the Backstreet Boys with As Long As You Love Me. Great song, great throwback. To be honest, though, back in the day, all these boy bands came out, and Backstreet Boys was good, but I was more the NSYNC fan, JC Chazé, all them boys from NSYNC, great songs. But of course, this song, Backstreet Boys, As Long As You Love Me, great song. I know it was a hit here in Korea as well, all over the world. And that's what we want to play for you guys, because like I said earlier, it doesn't matter where you're from, what ethnicity you are, what gender you are. You also just try to love each other and be friends. That's very important, y'all. Alrighty, and try to keep all that negativity on the down low, or AKA on the hush hush, which is the next song for y'all. These are my sexy girls from the group called the Pussycat Dolls with Hush Hush. Guess what time it is? It's time for Brian's tips to tip the scale. Now, when I mean tip the scale, all you people are probably freaking out. I I don't want to lose weight. I don't want to diet. Don't worry. I'm just going to help you guys, give you tips to tip your scale towards a better life. All right, like I mentioned earlier, making friends as an adult is always a bit tricky because it's not like you live in the same dorm or go to the same school or work in the same workplace. People are super busy with their jobs, and they usually seem perfectly happy with their own cliques. But that doesn't mean that you can't make new friends out of the clique or at work. So here are some ways you can make new friends, and I encourage you guys to try doing this. Number one, be bold and talk to strangers. Now, it might be frightening to talk to a random person, but you might be surprised, of course, of the results as well, because some people have one of the best conversations when they talk to a complete stranger on the street. Now, what can go wrong? Worst case scenario would be that the person will think that some random dude came up to me, and forget about it in time, though. You guys will actually become good friends. You never know. You might become best friends, BFFs. Number two, go to cultural events, art openings, lectures, concerts, museums, all these things. All these places are great places to meet friends, new friends, of course. Don't try to mingle with the friends you went there with. Try to mingle with a new crowd. Just randomly bump into somebody, be like, oh, you're drinking a can of soda. I love that soda. How are you? Small talk can actually build a good friendship in the long run. Try to get those common grounds and interests flowing, y'all. And number three, join a sports team. Now, playing on the same team, sweating together, headed for the same goal, all this brings people closer together. Now, notice, when you're at a game, and one of the players scores, even the audience start hugging. Like, you don't even know who the person next to you is, but you're so happy because you're rooting for the same team. And you guys are like, oh my gosh, the Bears. And you guys are hugging each other and freaking out. And then later on after the game, you guys actually start up a conversation because of a sports event. Be like, hey, my name is David. Hey, what's up, David? I'm Bob. Good to meet you. You're a Bears fan. We should hang out sometimes. That can actually happen. So try to do that. Or maybe even try playing sports together, y'all. Not just watching sports events, but playing sports, because random team members can become best friends, and you guys can actually build a good friendship. All right, y'all. With that said, we're going to play the last song for the first half of our show. This is S Club 7 with Have You Ever. All right, y'all, we're back, and you're tuned into TBS efm 101.3, listening to What's Poppin' with your man, Brian Jew. But guess what, y'all? Shortly, the beautiful Mrs. Punita, I said Mrs. Punita like she's married or anything, will be joining us in the studio for Hot and Poppin', where she's going to be going over some music and entertainment business news for y'all for a Friday segment, y'all. Y'all don't want to miss out. But for now, a word from our sponsors.
Hello, this is Peter Bajaj and Brian G. Where is he? Is he here?
Brian isn't in the house right now.
He's not?
No.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm B Diddle.
B Diddle, nice to meet you.
Yes, I gave myself a new hip-hop name.
B Diddle.
On yesterday's segment, yes, B Diddle. You know how rappers do that? They change their name over time, like Snoop Dogg, Snoop Lion, Snoop Tiger, Snoop whatever.
Snoop Giraffe. It's coming. It's gonna come.
Snoop Old Man.
Snoop Old Man.
Snoop Grandpa.
G-Pa.
G-Pa! There you go. But I'm saying, why do rappers do that all the time? Do you do that? Do you change your name from like, hi, this is Punita, and then tomorrow you'll be like, hi, this is Samantha?
I actually, true story. One time I just didn't like the process of introducing myself. It was just so boring and repetitive. So one time
you made up a name, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Oh
I was
my gosh.
Hi, my name is Sophia. Nice to meet you.
And they believed you?
And everyone believed me. And then it was a church event, and one of the pastor came up to me and asked me where I was from, and I actually said the truth. I was from LA.
You done lied at church?
I know. And then he was like, oh, what church did you go to? And I went to WHBC. And he's like, oh, I went to that church. I work a lot with your pastor. And I was like, oh, that's
And then you
so
realized
nice.
I gotta stop lying.
I know. Like, if he went to my pastor and was like, oh, I know the Sophia. There's no Sophia at our church. It's just like awkward.
Because Sophia is a made-up character by Punita.
Sinned against God.
I've done that before.
It's just fun.
No, I did it when my friend brought out a friend, and my friend looks at me like, why are you doing that? Why are you talking like that? Like, you'd be like, hey, this is Brian, my friend, da-da-da. And then I said Brian, but I was like, hello, I'm Brian.
I'm
He's
Brian.
Like, hi, nice to meet you. He goes, hello, I'm just visiting, so can you show me around? Because I really don't know my way around here. And they're like, oh, you have a really strong accent. And my friend's just cracking. He goes, why are you doing that? He goes, and then the friend that I just met goes, what are you talking about? He goes, Brian's from America. I was like, I'm sorry, I was just playing with you. That's what I do. But right now, we're not talking about me or you making up names, making up accents. We're here to talk about what's hot and popping.
What's hot and what's poppin'?
You let us know.
Now, this is the end of the year.
Okay.
A lot of big events are going on, and all of you know that the Grammy nominations came out for 2014. And last Friday, they had the Grammy nominations concert live, and the nomination list has been revealed.
All right, what are the nomination list names? Come on.
I guess it's just to sum things up real quick. Jay-Z is in the head lead with a total of 9 nominations with his Magna Carta, Holy Grail.
Okay.
And this album is included in some of the big categories like Album of the Year,
Wow,
Song of the Year, and Record of the Year.
Dang it.
No surprise, Justin Timberlake is also all over the nominees list.
Of course, JT got to be up on there.
But he's actually tied up with Kendrick Lamar, Macklemore, Ryan Lewis, in a total of 7. Now, Drake is next in line with 5 nominations.
I'm not hating, but why Drake?
Drake is cool.
Yeah, but he went from like rapping to singing and... You know, he used to be like a soap opera star back in Canada.
Now he's a rapper with 5 nominations. Now, as you can see, most of the people who are in the lead are hip-hop artists. So people are predicting that 2014 will be the year for hip-hop.
Yeah!
But last year, and 2012, I think, also wasn't pretty big for the hip-hop community because they went through a dry spell. So we might have a hip-hop album win the title of Album of the Year, which hasn't happened since 2004, which went out to Outkast. And their album
I love Outkast.
I only know, like, that song.
That's it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. This is for real. You know what I'm saying?
Did you make that up right now?
No.
Because if you did,
Miss
I was
Jackson.
like, wow, it's pretty good.
You don't know Miss Jackson?
I don't know Miss Jackson.
Get out.
I will have to look it up.
You is fired. You need to learn your Miss Jackson song.
Miss Jackson.
Next week, you're singing it live.
Okay. Now, the real shocker is that Justin Timberlake's 2020 experience did not make the cut for Album of the Year.
Why not?
Plus, his song Mirrors didn't make the Song of the Year.
Wow.
Or Record of the Year. But instead, his nominations are kind of spread across the hip-hop, the pop, and R&B fields.
All right, so he shouldn't be sad that he's not nominated for Best Album. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still nominated.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Speaking of which, we're going to get into the song, or a song that we talked about, one of the nominees, of course. And this is Macklemore and Ryan Lewis with Can't Hold Us. That was Macklemore and Ryan Lewis with Can't Hold Us. That's a good song.
That is a pretty good song.
You want to dance, don't you?
I kind of did dance. I moved my shoulders.
That's a dance?
That's a party
That's
dance.
a warm-up.
That's true.
Actually, the funny thing is, earlier when Punita walked into the studio, she was breathing heavy. I was like, girl, would you run a marathon? No, I just walked down the stairs.
Not even up the stairs. I ran down the stairs.
Yes, because that burns so many calories.
It does. Anywho, now counting with the shockers and snubs of the 2014 Grammy nominees.
Okay.
Sarah Bareilles earned only 2 nominations.
Okay.
But one of them was Album of the Year.
All right.
With her album Blessed Unrest. It was pretty popular, but I didn't see it, like, bumping into the 2020 experience or the Unorthodox Jukebox by Bruno Mars. I was like, is she that good?
Hold on. She's nominated for Album of the Year, but Justin Timberlake wasn't?
Yeah.
That made no sense. But I'm not hating on her because she's a good artist.
She is.
I'm just jealous because she was nominated. Shoot.
Haters gon' hate.
I don't hate. I said I'm jealous. And jealousy is not hate. It's just envy. Anyways. No, it's not. Shut your mouth!
Now, speaking of Album of the Year, I wonder what Kanye West would have to say because his Yeezus album was not making the cut.
I hope he goes to the Grammys and he just does the thing he did to Taylor Swift a few years ago. Disco belongs to Beyonce. And takes
Beyonce has the best music video of the year.
Hey, Kanye, if you're listening, do that, please. Do that if some random artist goes up on stage like, Album of the Year,
Sarah
Elvis with The Fox. Like, man, The Fox say song, that's crap. I hope Kanye does that.
Well, because he said, was it last year or something? He was like, the Grammys can suck my whoop.
He said that? Kanye, you bad, man. Come to Korea. You know what you need to do? You should come to the Korean Mama Awards, whatever, and do something like that.
He should.
That'd be funny as heck.
I don't think Korean people would I think they would just freeze. They'd be like,
or they probably think it's like an act.
Oh,
they couldn't fathom what Kanye's going to bring to the table. Alrighty. Kanye, keep the bad words on a lower level. Try to not say it on TV.
On the DL.
Yes.
Moving on. If any of you have looked through the full list of nominations, you'll notice that some of the popular names like Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, One Direction, and even Ariana Grande was not on there.
Oh, so none of them were nominated? Miley Cyrus's We Can
Yeah, We Can't Stop, Wrecking Ball, didn't make the cut for any awards. I really like those songs. Her album's pretty good.
But I'm pretty sure it's because they're popular, they're online sites like, the YouTube and all that stuff. But maybe that's only where she was popular. Maybe people didn't buy the album and all that stuff.
Plus, Lady Gaga has also 0 nominations.
My Lady Gaga, Adriana Subligido. I can't say her name because she has like 20,000 names in her name.
Does she?
Yeah. Her name's so long. 'Cause if she was an artist, it'd be the worst name to... All right, next up we have Telephone by Alexandria, Samantha, Brittany, Johnson, Millerston. Like, her name's so long.
Really?
That's not her real name, but yeah. Look it up.
Wow.
I think that's why Lady Gaga chose that name. She's like,
Gaga.
I just want the world to know me as Lady Gaga. That's my imitation of Lady Gaga.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
But her single Applause was released in August, which is a month before the year's cutoff date. So I don't know if she did that on purpose or did she do it on accident?
Maybe she don't want to get nominated.
True.
Maybe she goes, you know what? I'm doing music for the people, not for some Grammy award.
That's why I'm going to name myself Lady Gaga. It also seems kind of unfair because, especially for the One Direction fans, One Direction being like the quote-unquote greatest group ever. But all jokes aside, they did have 2 of the year's best-selling singles and one of the year's biggest albums debuts. So even so, they got nothing. They got everything.
So, yeah. You don't really need a trophy.
Yeah, they don't really...
They have the love from the fans.
True,
Because
Dad.
you don't know you're beautiful. Is that One Direction?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I get confused with One Direction and The Wanted.
The Wanted?
You don't know The Wanted? Sun goes down and something...
Where have I lived? Why don't I know these bands or songs?
Get out!
I will have to get out. So the last snub we will share with you after this wonderful song by Robin Thicke. Featuring
and
Pharrell
with
Blurred Lines.
Wow! You ever notice that a lot of the songs that Pharrell's in, there's like a random yelling in the background. Like this song goes, hey, 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 ow! And I love doing that. And everyone always like, why do you sing that part? Because it's that part of the song that no one ever sings.
It's the extra oomph.
Yes, it is like a herb or a spice that you put in a dish.
It's like nutmeg.
Yes, it's like nutmeg to the song. Hey, hey, hey.
The secret ingredient.
I'm going to randomly do that. Every time you talk, I'm going to add a little sound in the background.
Do it.
Yes.
Well,
once again, who was that?
Robin Thicke with Pharrell.
Song was called?
Blurred Lines.
Blurred Lines. And we're back with Punita. Now, what's hot and poppin' now?
What's hot and what's poppin'? The next big thing that's on the radar is the Kiss FM Jingle Ball 2013, which happened December 6th in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. And as we mentioned before, there were lots of artists that show up, like Trevor McCoy, who brought along Neon Hitch as a cameo, Jason Derulo, Fifth Harmony, Enrique Iglesias, Robin Thicke, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus.
It's my party, I can do what I want.
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, and much, much more. But it looks like there was a bit of technical difficulties, especially with the mics, because Adriana Grande was there as well, but she went up the stage with the mic, and it didn't even work.
Has that ever happened to you before?
No.
I had done it.
No way.
But guess what?
What?
I was happy. Because it was during a song that I didn't know the lyrics to fully.
Okay.
So it just went off. I was like, God, thank you. That's his way of saying, I will help you, my son.
Okay, so when I was on the show with the audition program, they gave us a song to sing. It was a mission, so I didn't know the song well. And they said to sing it for a minute. And I was like, okay, I memorized all the lines. Okay, go. But then right when I went on stage, you know when you sing the song and you don't really know, but just the line by line, you just remember it? As you sing, you kind of remember. So it was going like that. And the next line I didn't remember. And I was like, oh my God. But then it was like the 1 minute cut off. It was like, oh my God. I was made to sing the song for a minute.
Yes. I'm pretty sure you did well too.
Oh! No, I guess the crowd yelling at her and, giving her like a lot of nervousness and anxiety kind of puzzled their faces and reactions, which gave her a hint and she brushed it off as she got another mic and finished her set.
Did the guy come on stage with another mic, or she go off a stage and pick up a mic?
I don't know.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
Okay.
But another young artist did not keep her cool when the mic started acting up, and that would be no other than
Who?
Selena Gomez.
Why she acting up?
She started singing when the microphone started malfunctioning. She stopped in the middle of her performance, stopped dancing, and tried to fix the issue. That's when she loudly said, "What the what?"
Oh my, she beeped on TV?
Yeah, actually, she just said, "What the what?"
What the what?
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna do that. I'm like, man, what the what?
What the what?
Yes.
And it rang throughout the crowd, so everyone heard her. And it's like, she was a Disney star. She can't cuss.
Mm-hmm.
But
she's a little girl.
She's a human being.
Yes.
She calmed down and tried to finish 2 more of her songs that she prepared. But the problem kept on continuing. She stormed up the stage without even performing the last song.
Oh my gosh.
And she didn't even say goodbye to her fans.
Oh my gosh.
And she
How
probably
professional
didn't even
is Selena Gomez? Mm-hmm.
She didn't even take a pic and Instagram it. Luckily, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis picked up the mood with their 2 hits, Same Love and Can't Hold Us. Mm-hmm. Later on, Miley Cyrus went on stage to perform a total of 6 songs, and one of them was an acoustic cover of Lana Del Rey's Summertime Sadness, which is kind of awkward, but she didn't let the people down when she started twerking on Santa.
She twerked on Santa?
She did twerk.
Why does she like twerking on people?
On older men.
Ew.
On
That's Jingle.
That is Jingle.
Jingle. Miley's Jingle.
Whoa.
But guess what?
What?
Since we talk about Miley Cyrus, we gotta wrap things up. We're already out of time.
Wrap it up.
But we thank all the listeners for tuning in today. We hope you guys learned y'all something. You know, Punita brought some good info for our entertainment news, y'all. But the last song, since we're talking about crazy Miley Cyrus and being Jingle Row, we're gonna play her song, the song that you love. And what's that song called?
It's called We Can't Stop.
Because that's what we can't do either. We can't stop. Once again, this is Brian Ju and
Punita Bajau
signing off.
Peace.
Woo!